More moves are incoming for the Dallas Cowboys after their hiring of Christian Parker. A new report reveals some major updates on a couple of Eagles free agents that will make their way over to Dallas this offseason, following in the footsteps of Christian Parker. We talk about those moves right here today on Dallas Cowboys Digest. Welcome, everybody. I'm Jace Andrews. I appreciate you tuning in to today's show and hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you might be. Now, we obviously are very excited about Christian Parker joining the Dallas Cowboys organization. I think it's a fantastic hire, not just 34 years old. I think it's going to be a good long-term move. Now, long-term move is obviously something we looked at, but something that can also be intriguing is the potential of him bringing over some of his secondary guys in the Eagles organization to join him in Dallas. And that's where we kind of take a look at the Eagles and their free agent list, who could be available for the Cowboys to sign, and who would fit best with the new culture shift in Dallas, along with who was close enough to Christian Parker. And so I got a little look at the free agent list for the upcoming season. Now, this isn't all of the Eagles free agents, but it's two guys on here that I want to hit on. It's linebacker Nakobe Dean and safety Reed Blankenship. There's been reports going around that both of those guys would love to end up with Christian Parker. They're both free agents, and they're both at positions of need for the Dallas Cowboys. So it seems like a match made in heaven. All we got to do is make the right move. Now, before we get into the rest of the news here on Cowboys Digest, I want to remind you that today's show is brought to you by Kalshi. If you download Kalshi using the link in the description and use code DIGESTNFL, you're going to get $20 when you trade your first 100. Kalshi is the largest prediction market in the United States, and on their platform, you can trade yes or no on real-life events such as sports, elections, news, pretty much anything. Now, whether you're in California, Texas, or anywhere across the country, Kalshi is now live in all 50 states. For sports fans, we can trade on game outcomes, playoff chances, or player performances, all on a regulated market where you can cash out at any time. The upcoming NFC Championship game is here, and right now a trade on Kalshi for the Los Angeles Rams will net you $228. Pretty good trade if you ask me. It's genuinely the smarter way to use your sports or news knowledge, and you can close positions whenever you want. Again, download Kalshi with the link in the description, and don't forget to use this code DIGESTNFL to get your $20 bonus. So Nakobe Dean and Reed Blankenship. First of all, very good positions of need for the Dallas Cowboys at linebacker and safety. In fact, linebacker, there's actually only 4 people that are going to be on the active roster next season for the Dallas Cowboys, with Shamar James, the 5th-round rookie from last year, Martise Liafu, DeMarvion Overshown, and Logan Wilson, who was acquired in a trade with the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, this report all comes from Elliot Shore-Parks. He's actually an Eagles reporter that had this note this morning, saying Nakobe Dean following Christian Parker to Cowboys makes sense. Parker knows how much Nakobe brings to the defense on and off the field, and he would help set the culture. And that's kind of what we've been talking about. That's been the big no. Setting up a new culture in Dallas. Nakobe Dean, a now 4-year pro with Philadelphia, was a fantastic linebacker and was on pace for a really good season this year, but only appeared in 10 games. He had 4 sacks, which was still the most of his entire career. At 25 years old, it'd be a nice guy to set up the rest of the defense and kind of add to your second level, because I think we can very much clearly say our defensive line is in a very good spot. Past that is where the question marks start to arise. I think Nakobe Dean is a very good guy to have for a couple of different reasons. Obviously, if he is following Christian Parker, that is something that we like. But his PFF grade this year in just 10 games is really solid, 61.7, and that is 42nd out of 88 linebackers. I know it seems like middle of the pack, but when you compare his PFF grade to the likes of Kenneth Murray, Shamar James, other linebackers the Cowboys had this year, Logan Wilson, this is spectacular. This is a fantastic number, and I'm loving it. So I think this would be a very good addition to the Dallas Cowboys squad. His price tag would probably be in the range the Cowboys would be willing to spend for a linebacker, and I really do think that in the draft, the Cowboys are going to go with a cornerback and a safety with their first 2 overall picks. The first and second first round picks. I think they could go offensive lineman, but linebacker is a position that you get Sonny Styles, you like it, but I think you kind of want more alongside DeMarvion Overshown, and Nakobe Dean would be that guy. Feeling like with Christian Parker, I know that he's technically a linebacker, so it doesn't exactly fit with the DB's knowledge, but still, when you have a guy that has this much prowess in the NFL in just 2 years, the fact of the matter is, hey, we can pay you to come over here. You can get a guy that you know, that you worked with, that you were very familiar with in Philadelphia. It just kind of allows a little bit of a relief on the lives of every single player. As you can see here again, this was actually Reed Blankenship stats, excuse me, as I jump forward on that. But Reed Blankenship is also a very good guy to have. In fact, Elliot Shore-Parks said the same thing, saying Reed Blankenship would fit the description as well. Blankenship and Nakobe would be two culture setters for Parker in Dallas. So going back to those stats that I preemptively put on the screen, 16 games this year for Blankenship, just 83 tackles, definitely somewhat of a down year for him. Also a lot less playing time, though, because of the secondary that they had with Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean. They just weren't needed in that safety room as much as usual because the cornerbacks were locking everybody up. I mean, Vic Fangio and his defense and Christian Parker, we know what type of defense they were putting out there on the field. But we know what Blankenship is capable of. Back in 2023, 15 games played, 113 tackles, having 3 interceptions. A very fantastic year, along with 11 passes defended that season, 6 passes defended in 2024, 4 passes defended in this most prior year in 2025. So I like a lot of what Reed Blankenship would bring to the Dallas Cowboys. Again, a safety is a very big position for the Cowboys as well. Malik Hooker is somebody that I think the Cowboys are willing to, hold on to, give some more time. But overall, you really kind of think about the safety room, and Donovan Wilson, I think he's played the last Cowboy snap. He's going to play. I think he's going to get cut this offseason. And past that, I just think you need to get some extra oomph in there, and Blankenship could do that. Now, his price tag I don't think would also be that high, just because the past 2 years have not been as good as that 2023 season. I think that this year was definitely a year where he just wasn't as needed. I think that if you put him on a team that needs him, like the Dallas Cowboys, he would probably bump the stats up a lot. Now, for a safety, the less tackles you have, it's probably a good thing because that means you're not trying to stop guys at the very edge of the end zone. You're not the last line of defense trying to stop people. You have gotten them down. You're not worried about it. So that's obviously a big thing in my book. I think that Reed Blankenship and Nakobe Dean, just as Elliot Shore-Parks said, they're culture setters. And that's what Dallas is looking for, culture setters. Christian Parker, I think, is going to be a good hire. Obviously, there's lots to like about him. There's lots to discuss with him. But given his Eagles connections, given the way that he was able to, I'm going to say it, being 34 years old and getting a DC job, it's going to connect more with the 25-year-old and the 24 and the 26-year-old than it would connect with, maybe a 44-year-old and a 25 and 26-year-old. The connection of age is just there with Christian Parker, and so I think that's a very big part of it. And Blankenship and Nakobe Dean, I think they would like to join the Cowboys. Now, let me know your thoughts in the comment section, though. Would you like the Cowboys to go after Blankenship and Dean in NFL free agency? Are these two guys somebody you want to see? Type Y for yes or type in for no. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Would you like the Cowboys to go after Blankenship and Dean in NFL free agency? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I would personally love it. It's two positions of need, and in my mind, the best options at the best price in the secondary and in the linebacker room is something that you want to have because it allows you to be a little bit more frisky with the NFL draft process. I think that the cornerback is going to be a top position they're going to go draft just simply because of the way it worked out with Trevon Diggs and him getting released. Get to the Packers, he got released again. I think that that is just an obvious move for the Cowboys to do to grab another cornerback in the draft. So getting a safety and getting a linebacker in free agency and guys that have shown success at their positions, guys that have familiarity with your new DC, and guys that might want to come over and play with him because of their history with him. It just makes all the sense in the world. And hopefully that can lead to some good NFL free agent signings for Jerry Jones. I know that Nakobe alongside DeMarvion, Overshone, Liafu, and Wilson could actually be a decent linebacker group in itself, and I'm sure they're probably going to draft a linebacker as well, potentially even in the second round. I don't want to say that, but they might do it depending on how the offseason goes. So right now we're just going to have to wait and see, but I'm curious to see what the NFL free agency season looks like for the Dallas Cowboys. Hopefully they can get some good players. Nakobe Dean and Blankenship would be two of them. We appreciate you watching. Hope you have a great rest of your day. We'll see you next time here on the show. Peace out, guys.